Okay, so now I'm just gonna. It's recording now. So yeah, this is gonna be a CDL game between North Carolina State and MIT, with North Carolina State playing the Radiant, I believe, and the MIT Massachusetts Fighting will be playing on the Dire side. And I'm Baroya, and with me is my co-commentator Chinchillax, otherwise known as the Chinchilla. I don't know.
Hi. The chinchilla.
The
Nice one.
Chinchilla, yeah. I think so.
Uh,
Apologies about not being able to stream this. Something is wrong with my delay. I will fix that after the game, but I will be able to upload this to YouTube at the very least, and hopefully somebody will watch that. So, yeah, I'm
Well, we know nothing about these two teams, but we will see from their drafting skills how they will play. It's going to be
oops.
an interesting draft.
Sorry, yeah, I need to just fix something. Okay.
Probably from the
Anyway,
chat.
waiting for one of the players to finish loading.
Yeah. Apparently from the chat, somebody said that NCSU Fear is a good player, so we'll look out for him. Might be their carry.
Yeah, and just if you can keep talking, I gotta. Everybody's tagging up at least. I gotta fix something.
Yep. So we're waiting. Radiant has the first ban. NC State. Let's see. Oh, they banned Darkseer, which is a very stable ban for many teams because he's just a really good offlane or jungler hero who can set up massive fights with his vacuum and his wall. Let's see how MIT responds to this. Oh, Tinker first, man. That's an
That's
interesting choice.
yeah. And when you see Invoker too, this is like a blast from the past bans. And I remember when Tinker used to be picked and banned every game just because he's such a powerful hero, not only to win mid against a favorable matchup, but Batrider, but also because he just stops any push. You just can't go into level 4 March, especially if it's one of the Tinkers who levels March over Laser Rocket. So you just
Yep, that's
see,
true.
we are probably going to see a Quap versus Bat mid here. Kind of interesting that they instant picked Quap after seeing the Batrider.
I don't
You,
think they would have banned Quap either in the second phase if they let him through.
yeah, it's
So
also
it's an
that
interesting choice.
I don't know. I don't know if Quap can win that lane. I feel like it turns out even at best, and at worst, it just goes downhill fast.
Yeah, because Batrider with a sticky napalm can chase down a Quap even if she blinks away, because she's just so slow if she gets too many stacks on her.
I also see the Chaos Knight picked up. Again, pretty early Chaos Knight pickup, but I guess it's one of those things that with the new banning system, because you only have the two bans at the start, you can't get as many heroes in the second round as you originally wanted. And CK he used to be uh, he used to be in the third one of the three bans in the first pick stage that you would ban a CK. But now since there's only two and the CK gets through, you can't afford to let him go to the second pick phase.
Hmm. Also, we see a Tidehunter pickup, so they're going for a pretty big team fight. I wonder if they're going to get another AoE hero, AoE team fight hero. I also see that Venomancer banned from MIT, so they must really want to get some. Oh, Jakiro, forgot about him.
Yeah, THT this late in the draft. Oh my God, he's not first pick. The sky is falling.
I wonder if the MIT wanted Jakiro because Chaos Knight and Jakiro is a really powerful lane.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, THG
There's still,
just complements every single lane. Like he can even dual lane mid.
there's still a Shrek in the pool and Wisp, so there's still a lot of kind of support that can go well with CK. Do you think NC
Yeah,
State's gonna have a carry? They're gonna pick a carry later on, or
I
they're gonna
think
go with S
so.
team fight?
I think with THD is such a good babysitter and a tri-lane hero that you can afford to get a carry, especially with a Tidehunter backup.
They're taking a they're taking some time to pick their last pick.
Yeah, and it's
Oh, let's
Wisp.
see.
Okay, so that's pretty standard. A Wisp CK, especially since just how powerful Wisp CK is in a lane. Uh, you just get the double stun, and the speed boost obviously helps catch up. so fast.
They banned Enigma, which I think could have worked well with their team.
For what, NC State? I don't
Mhm.
know. Enigma Tide isn't the best. You have to have both the ultimates up at the team or up at a fight because you're banking. You have to invest two heroes into this team fight, and they already have a bat and a THD. So that means that you're only going to have one hard carry in the game, not something like picking up a secondary hard or a secondary carry, like say a TA. But you're throwing all your eggs in a basket on that one carry, and then you have this massive team fight. And if one part of the team fight just goes wrong, everything goes out of control because it's they're both 2 minute cooldowns plus on their ultimates for Tidehunters Ravage and for Enigma's Black Hole. So if you mess up the team fight and both those ultimates are down and they push right after it, you have nothing left. The Tidehunter's useless, the Enigma's useless, and the enemy team can just ball or push on through to the high ground. And it's really high risk, high reward.
Hmm. And it's interesting to see that ever since the first pick back by TA has been really ignored. Like, she has been so popular, but she's been ignored because of just that Batrider pick.
Hmm.
They banned AM, so they're afraid of having giving away a hard carry, like Naga AM. So Naga would work pretty well. I think it's a good ban.
Hmm. Sorry,
So they
just
ban a
typing some
Bounty
soup.
Hunter. Ah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't really. I
Bounty
don't think.
Batrider is a really good combo.
Yeah, but they banned it, which is I don't understand because you already have the CK, so I don't know where the bounty hunter fits in the lineup for like the quote unquote slain hero. The CK is going to pick off the supports anyway, especially with the Wisp. That
Hmm.
they don't really need the bounty hunter. Although the thing about the bounty hunter is he does give you a free scout for the Wisp to TP in on, and then you always have an imbalanced team fight because you'll have the bounty hunter and the Wisp CK, and the Wisp CK will automatically just kill any hero.
Hmm.
Uh,
So right now there might be looking for like, well, Queen of Pain can also solo on a long lane, so maybe they are looking for another mid and a support. I'm not really sure where they're going with that. Because Queen of Pain could mid against Batrider, but it's yeah, like you said, it's not really a good matchup for her.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. She's such a fickle mid. Like she has rune control and she has just a lot of staying power in a lane because you can't get near her with her scream. And if the bat obviously has to forecast when he's coming forward because if he starts running forward to napalm you, you can just blink away because you know he's coming. Although it does help that the turn rates because if Quap is trying to turn around the blink and she's slowed by napalm, bat has a small opening to take advantage of the turn rate slow. And we do see TA picked up by NC State, so they could just throw they could throw the TA into the safe lane, which is what I'm assuming, unless they run some weird tri lane and throw either bat or Tide in the off lane. They could always
They
jungle a
might,
bat too.
yeah. I think Batrider jungle might be a good option in this game since
Yeah.
Tidehunter off in the offlane. But they could also do something freaky like TA bottom and then Batrider top solo and Tidehunter mid. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh, Lich. Now see, I don't know how I feel about the Lich pickup because obviously he's one of the best supports in the game, but he's also one of the squishiest supports in the game. And yeah, there's a Sven, so this is a tri lane. I'm pretty much assuming. I think what it's going to be is a bat off TA mid and then a Tai Jakiro Sven tri lane, which isn't necessarily horrible, but it'll be just interesting to see what the last pickup for MIT is. Excuse me.
I think Sven's a good choice here because his cleave is really good against Seeker's illusions. And he doesn't have to like, focus down any one illusion trying to find out the real hero because he could just attack the illusions and you can find out through cleave who the real hero is. And also the massive Stormhammer stun is a really good AoE stun against CK. So overall, Sven's a really good counter to CK.
Yeah.
And they
And
go Brewmaster.
Brewmaster. Now I like that because Brewmaster is just such a good hero for any kind of team fight, and I feel like he's more effective than heroes like Tidehunter just because he has two disables, and obviously one of his disables with Tornado. It's a 6-second disable on heroes, which you can just spam over and over. So you can just keep one hero out of the fight for I think you can get like 18 seconds at level 16 ultimate, and it just you just shut out that one hero as opposed to that initial burst of Tidehunter. And he can stand through a Tidehunter ult because obviously if he splits right as ult's going off or Ravage is going off, he can get through it.
And also, if Sven doesn't get a BKB, he could disable Sven for a long time, especially with his second skill, Drunken Haze, and also his ultimate. He could have the Storm Panda just lift him up and keep him up there. So Sven will have to get a BKB this game. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. So it looks like yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I really hate that the stream fucked up, but
So we're gonna have a remake. All right, so we could go over the teams.
yeah.
Which team do you want to go over? I think they're
You can do Dire, I'll do Radiant.
all right. So we have Executioner on the Wisp, that's their captain, followed by Dirty Jenkins on Chaos Knight, and we have Lodge T on Lich, going on the offlane. Maybe he's gonna go up top, join them up, and then we have Marco on the bottom lane as well on tandem on Brewmaster. Sorry, so there might be a dual lane bottom actually, and then we have a mid player, Most Rainbow Dinosaur Fruit, playing the Quap.
Yeah, and on the Radiant side we have Fear, obviously not the real Fear, on Tidehunter. Justin will be playing the Sven. Grave Robber 327 will be playing the THD. Very quickly now, Oxmox will be Bat Rider in the off lane, and Baron von Schusch is going to be mid lane as the TA. And I need to throw on, oops, high performance, yeah. So that should help. Looks like it's going to be a tri-lane versus a dual lane Lich Panda. I'm not sure I like this. I don't feel like the Lich needs to be in this off lane, since it's pretty much a lost lane anyway, regardless of there being two heroes. And while this isn't really a pushing tri-lane, since Sven, THD, and Tide can't really get through a tower, Lich is only going to expedite that process by denying creeps. So they're going to get to the tower pretty quickly. I don't think they can kill it though.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a very questionable lane because, as you said, this lane could be lost anyways without the Lich even being there, and 3v2 is not going to help Panda out at all. He's not going to get that much farm, and Sven is just going ahead. They have such good initiation on the Radiant team. If they land one Ice Path, Lich can't stuns, and neither can Panda. So it might be just a guaranteed kill if they can time it correctly.
It's an interesting build by the TA that she went Meld second. I'm assuming she went Sideblades first since that's standard, but generally you see Refraction picked up. Maybe she didn't think it was as useful because Quap's Dagger, which I think does have to be Shadow Strike level 2 in order to take off Refraction charges, but still it's annoying as a TA. And we do see that the Tide is doing a double pull. I think he timed it wrong though. I'm not sure if the creeps are going to stay. Yeah, he timed it a little too early. He's not going to get that ogre in time.
I think his logic of getting Meld first is he could dodge the dagger
Oh
by
yeah, that's
melding,
true. If he's got the timing right, which I believe in him.
which he did not get right now. But
Yeah, but he is
nonetheless,
able to chip down that Quap quite a bit. And actually, if he wants to, no, he's not going to die for it.
oh, this is pretty close. Quap could have gone in.
She could have, but I think it's better safe than sorry. She just got her bottle up. Yes, she did. So she's just playing it safe for now, I think.
There's no reason to go in like that.
Hmm.
It's only been 2 minutes
You know,
with a haste ring though.
I'm surprised how ballsy this Panda's being. Although they are going to waste a lot of stuns, which is unfortunate since they jumped the gun. The tide wasn't there yet. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah, and Sven just wasted a lot of mana. So he's 10 mana to another stun, so it's not too
Yeah,
bad.
and if well, no, I guess the They didn't. The Tide has a couple of clarities for the Sven. I was gonna say they should have pulled more regen since Sven is just such a hard hero to stay in lane without regen, and obviously since he's the #1 on their team for most farm, he's not going to be carrying around a lot of regen like this THD and Tide should be. Although the THD went straight for Ring of Basilia, so I guess they did see the opening to push this lane, and they're going to try for it. It'll be interesting to see if the THD decides to go for a max liquid fire build.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to see Sven's leveling. Great Cleave level 2.
Yeah.
I prefer Warcry level 2 because it gives you so much more movement speed in a tri lane.
I think Sven might go down here. I think no, the Lich is going to back up. I think if the Lich stayed on him, he could have easily gotten that kill. But they do trade hits here. Panda does get his boots though. That's pretty good for him. He'll be able to dodge a couple of stuns at least. Obviously not Sven's, but THD with his recent nerf to the delay in forming the ice path and the cast animation, it's a lot easier for him to be able to dodge the ice breath than before when it was just automatically lose.
Hmm.
Looks like TA is going to camp the top rune. She might be in trouble. Quap does see her, but
Oh, she
Dagger's going to
just
go off.
wasted the meld.
If she has a scream, I think this Quap can get the first blood. Yes, she's going up for it.
Yeah.
And with the dagger up, no, she's
The
gonna
meld just came
meld.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the dagger's not gonna kill her, but she should have
Swap
saved
is
that
a
scream for when Quap, or excuse me, for when TA melded, since scream does go through meld. But I guess she just was playing a little bit. She thought she had the kill, so she went for it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of hard to be patient when you see that kill right in front of you, but I guess that's not what she was doing. I just worded that really oddly, but yeah. Looks like Tide is going to deny the Invis Room bot, though. That's pretty good for him.
Mm-hmm. And we see this top lane, Batrider is actually harassing CK out of the lane. So
Yeah.
Batrider's having his way at top lane. He's getting so much experience. He's almost level 6. So this top lane isn't going very well for the dire side.
It's interesting that the CK went for a 2-2 build instead of a 3-1.
That's true. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, you can get 3 points of stun and 1 point of reality rift, right?
Well,
Unless I'm
he's
thinking
only
of the
level
skills wrong.
4.
Oh no, he's only level. Sorry, I thought he was level 5. I thought he didn't have the skill point in yet. My bad.
I think it's
Looks
good to
like
level up reality rift because it gives you a lot more
I
damage.
think Sven might be going down. Oh no, Tide does come in at the last second to gush the panda, but he was a couple hits away from killing the Sven, which is unfortunate for the Dire. It's still 5 minutes and there's no first blood. That's kind of interesting considering how aggressive a lineup we do have up here. Uh, it is interesting though. You see the mid lanes going pretty evenly, but this Sven has no farm and he's in the tri lane. The panda
Yeah.
is almost as much farm as the offlane bat has gotten. And obviously the bat shouldn't have any farm either. So these offlane heroes are really getting a lot of farm where they shouldn't be. And it'll be interesting to see just how much of an impact these two offlane heroes are going to have in the end.
But the main
Obviously,
difference is that while the safe lane for the
mhm,
dire is going well, the safe lane for the radiant is not because Sven only has 7 most
yeah.
hits.
I'm really, oh no, Bat gets level 6. He's going to try and pull CK into the tower. I think the CK could be going down here. Yes,
Yeah,
with
he is
5 stacks of
definitely is.
napalm.
It's
Oh
first
no, his
blood.
stick charms is going off, but he's still going to die from this. Bat just needs one more auto attack, and there it
You
goes.
could even get a double kill.
Yeah, he's definitely getting this wisp. I don't see how this wisp is getting out of here. And
Oh, there's no
yeah,
creep wave to tether to either. So yeah,
this, wow.
how does this happen?
I just think they weren't paying attention to Bat's levels, since one of the things you have to always be attention for in a dual lane versus a single lane situation is that your XP is going to be cut in half. As we see here, the CK is only level 4, while the Bat is level 8, and he got that level 6 so quickly. I think it just surprised the CK that he wasn't prepared to be dragged into the tower range, especially since Bat got him from halfway in the lane all the way to under tower in the 3.5 seconds. No, just 3 seconds on a level 1 lasso.
Oh, Sven, bottom
Yeah,
lane.
looks like Sven is going to get the stun off, but I think this Lich is fast enough to catch up and kill him.
Oh, he backed up though.
Yeah,
He
that's
had one more Frost Nova. He should have kept chasing.
yeah. It looks like Tide's going to come in for the gush, and this should allow the THC to get away as well, especially with the Anchor Smash. And it looks like Quap has rotated bot in order to get a gank, which she could do. She is level 6, and there are 2 low heroes. If she can just get one Scream or Sonic Wave off, it will be an instant kill. The TA is back at base though. She might suspect the Quap missing and come bot herself. Yep, which she is going to do so. And Unfortunately, oh no, she is going to give bottle to Sven. I was going to say Sven is too low to do something, but now that he has some extra mana and health, they might be able to turn something here, especially since the Pana isn't 6 yet, and Lich is obviously just cannon fodder regardless of who's in the lane.
Panda's alone right now. Lich is back at the tower, so they might go for something. Oh no, never mind. He's going back.
Oh no, they're going in for it though. This TA puts up refraction, uh, just puts up a trap, and with the stun up, yeah, THD stun on top. This is one dead Panda.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Oh, well, he's gonna
it's gonna
live,
be
but
close. It's
oh
gonna be
no, the
close.
Sven is blocking the TA. No, that's a huge mistake. That should have been a dead Panda, but the Sven was blocking the TA who had level 1 boots when I believe Sven did not. No, Sven did, but still. And again, this is one of those things that not picking up that war cry.
Ooh, top lane.
Yeah, he is getting ganked, but I think the bat is going to be able to fly. Oh no, the spirits. Ooh,
Ooh,
good
nice ulti.
good prediction by the Quap in order to get the max range ulti on the bat outside the map. But as I was saying, yeah, this is going back to what you said about getting the level 2 cleave. If you had 1 point in Warcry, they would have been able to catch up to that Panda and easily get a kill. It's just a
Even 1 point in Warcry gives
yeah.
you
Well,
12% speed, which is really
it's
good.
fixed speed, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's fixed speed
12%.
throughout
So
the whole.
yeah, even 1 point would have been enough. That's really a shame, though. They had that kill, and they really needed that kill on that Panda. The Panda has 21 CS to, or excuse me, 26 CS to the Sven's 12, and that's atrocious in a tri lane. Especially even if it was only a dual lane to a dual lane, THD Sven should be running amok among the Lich Panda, because Lich Panda doesn't have any combo power. They have 2 slows versus a double stun. It's just obvious. It shouldn't even be said why that lane should be going so well.
If you look at the hero level tab, you can see how the supports for the Radiant are so under leveled. Like we have a Tidehunter and a Jakiro who are level 3 and 4 respectively, while we have a Wisp and a Lich who are level 5 both and are about to hit level 6. So
Yeah, but this comes at the cost of the bat just getting free farm on this top lane. I mean, 33 CS for an offlane bat with against a Wisp CK. It's unheard of. Although one thing to note is that oh no, I thought they were going in on bot. Is that the Wisp is really almost level 6, and once that starts happening, you're gonna see some big plays. When you can get 5 heroes bot, especially with the Quap, just how mobile she is, that she can just instantly get to bot lane, and you can get a 5-man gank bot, and it will just turn into a tier 1 tower. Oh yeah, they have a lot of chip damage on the tier 1 tower bot for the Dire. It's interesting even though again it's a tri lane and it's a Lich Panda, the Lich Panda lane has more damage on the tier 1 tower than the tri lane does. And
it's
I don't.
also worrying because Lich is also denying the creep, so
Mhm.
it shouldn't be pushing that far anyways.
Yeah, so I'm
Oh,
just
it's a
surprised. Oh,
questionable
here comes with
TP.
CK. They're going in. Looks like they are going to pop
Oh, they're
Sven.
not
Oh
pushing.
wow, instantly. Didn't even have to
Wow,
kind
that
of
was a
call it.
nice gank.
Yeah, and then THD just died instantly after. It'll be interesting to see if Wisp brings back the CK, which she should do, or it should do.
Oh,
But
they might be pushing bottom.
yeah, I don't agree with this though. I think the CK needed to take advantage of that and then just go back to farm as it opens up some room for him up top. It looks like we are going to have a pause here so I can actually catch my breath. Um,
Let's check the items out for
mhm.
everybody. So we have TA in the middle lane who has a Wraith Band, Boots of Speed, Magic Wand, and a bottle. I find it questionable that he didn't rush the phase boots because they give such great chasing power. So I don't know about that one.
I understand the wand though, because you could have kept it as a stick. I agree with you. They should have gone phase boots first on TA, but you do need the stick against the Quap just because obviously she's all spell damage, and even when she just blinks once, you automatically get a charge. So it's pretty effective. But I think she was just really worried about losing to a Quap, so she went for a lot of items which are early game benefit, which is like the Wraith Band. You almost never see a Wraith Band on a TA, but I guess she just didn't get the memo and wanted to win the lane, so getting that extra damage.
Well, she could also upgrade that Wraith Band into a Ring of Aquila to maybe help with the push later on.
Yeah. But they don't have a pushing lineup, so I'm not quite sure what they're going to be able to do with that, especially since this THD is going for, huh, I just noticed his item build. He had that ring or the sage mask and regen, and he had a ring of protection in his inventory for the longest time, but he never turned that into a ring of Basilius, which is odd because now it looks like he's gonna go in the tranquil boots and getting the ring of protection as part of his trank boots. but he doesn't have boots either, which obviously is not good when you're in a tri-lane situation and you need to be able to catch up to heroes, especially for THD. Considering how long range his ice path is, you need to be you need to just close the distance as long as time, or as short a time as possible, excuse me, in order to catch the enemy off guard with that long range that they might not expect normally.
Definitely. As we see here, the bottom lane, we have Panda, Brewmaster, sorry, I keep saying Panda.
Yeah, I say it too.
Yeah, he has Arcane Boots up, which is gonna help his team
Wow.
out immensely.
That's just I can't believe how much farm these offlane heroes are getting. Like, even though the Panda has less farm than the Bat, in a tri-lane situation, I just can't believe that a Panda got this much farm. Especially since he's really tanky, but it's not something that you can't overcome with a double stun, and especially if this Tide is leveling Gush. Yeah, he's leveling Gush and Anchor Smash, so that minus armor just chews through the Panda as soon as possible.
I feel like since Panda is really close to level 6, the dire side should let him get some solo experience bottom lane to get that level 6 up before pushing that tower down.
Hmm.
Because that will help out with the push immensely. If also with counter initiation, if the Radiant side decides to go in with a stun or anything.
Yeah, I think well, one of the things to look out for once this pause comes out is that the Bat is moving back up to kill the Wisp, and obviously since the Wisp's TP is down and he doesn't even have an urn, he's or boots actually, he's pretty easy pickings for the Bat. So we'll see if he comes in for the kill. I think he should be able to dive this even, since he does have his tranquil boots up and he has 1,000 health. He should be able to easily tank the tower.
But looking at this Batrider's items, he has Tranquil Boots and an Urn, which I think is really good for his team. It allows very good sustainability because Batrider is going to be going for the kills, so Urn charges are going to be plentiful.
Yeah, and he has 1,200 gold, so you can definitely see he's saving up for his Blink Dagger. But yeah, here we go. He's going in on the Wisp and with the lasso. Yeah, this is
This
not
is
even a
likely kill.
contest. Oh, a nice Flame Break's a little off, but it doesn't matter. He's got enough napalm to slow Wisp
Oh,
down.
that he might tether
Oh
up to a
wow, he
crit.
does
Yeah.
get the tether stun, but I think Bat can still go in on this with a couple more auto
Oh,
attacks.
there's a TP coming in.
Oh no, he's gonna tank the
Oh, he's
spirits in
so
the tower.
close.
Oh, he should not have napalmed. He didn't need that extra napalm. He was already doing so much damage, especially with max napalm. He's doing like 80 damage attack,
Oh,
and
that
the
was a bad
CK.
TP. Oh, he
Okay,
didn't stun. Yeah.
wow, that is a huge mistake by the CK. I can't believe he didn't just. I don't know if he didn't realize the Reality Rift doesn't break the TP, or if he just was overeager and wanted to Reality Rift in the stun, as is the standard combo.
You might have wanted to save mana, but I don't think you should have. You needed to ensure the kill.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that he knew that Reality Rift doesn't pull or cancel, because even though that Bat was low, you should never assume you're going to get a kill on an auto attack, especially against the Bat with Trank Boots, since he could just heal up in the meantime. Do see that the mid tower did go down. Looks like Sven did get the tower kill, which is good for him since he has such horrible farm right now. But
Mhm.
conversely, I believe Brewmaster got the farm or the tower kill bot, so he's just solidifying his even greater start. And he is rushing Ag straight away, which I do like this because the CK Wisp and Quap give you all the initiation you need. You don't really need Blink Dagger. And the thing I like about Ags more than an early Blink is that if they initiate on you, you can just the Blink doesn't do a lot. If you get initiated on by Ravage, you're not going to be able to blink out. So you might as well just realize the fact that you need to maximize the time you have on your ultimate. And
Yep.
it's such a good item. I feel like you can skip blink altogether with a Wisp CK and a Quap. You never need to be initiator. You can just run in and clap an ultimate.
If we see top lane, it's going to be a huge engagement.
Hmm. We do see an illusion on the TA. I don't know if she'll be able to bait out a stun, but I doubt it. Oh, this Quap did overextend, but obviously with Blink she's just going to get away. Interesting that she did go Arc Boots. It's really common to see Treads more on Quap, because A, she needs the health, and B,
Oh,
Tread
bottom
switch.
lane.
Oh yeah, there goes the Wisp CK. Looks like they get a 2-second stun, but with all the spirits, I think the Sven should be going down. CK's going to have a Reality Rift in 2
Oh,
seconds. Wisp
I
needs to
wonder if
break the
Wisp is
tether.
going to
Yeah,
leave.
good job. He does break the tether, and CK should be able to get this kill. I'm not quite sure. Oh no, good reaction by the Tide though, and he does have TA coming up right behind him. They might be able to get this CK, but it looks like
No,
support is
Quap's
coming in
coming
from the
in.
Quap.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to get him.
Interesting Reality Rift. Didn't really pull him as far as I know he wanted to. Looks like we are gonna get a Panda ultimate, maybe.
They have no detection for TA. Oh, she comes out of meld.
He still should have ulted though, because the burn damage would have forced TA to pop out of her meld.
And
And
also, he can also dispel the
yeah,
meld.
dispel will reveal meld unit, so that's another thing you
Oh,
could.
top lane.
Yeah, it looks like
That's going
Sven.
out.
Oh yeah, Bat's already got his start off, and I don't know what Lich is going to be doing here, but yeah, even with Lasso, he's dead. And Sven's probably going to come up the kill steal. Yep, there
Like
it
a
goes.
true carry.
But bot lane, we do see the Panda ult has been popped. He doesn't realize. Oh, there he
Oh,
goes.
now
Now
he
he
goes.
realizes he can dispel. That's good. It's good that he knows that. It's one of those niche spells that you might not remember a lot of the time. And it looks like TA is going to go down with a 4-second stun, I think. And yeah,
Oh, the Radiant push top.
yeah. Well, the Radiant are going to get top tower. I'm pretty sure Bat's going to get this one. Place bets. No, THD.
But
Wow,
Shakira,
wild card. It's a shame. We do have an Invis Quap coming up. He might be able to pick off the THD. He does have Scream up. I wouldn't go in if I was him though, because this Bat can just turn
Bat
on.
has a blink dagger now.
Yeah. Oh, Bat does get his blink. So that's a 15-minute blink for an off-lane Bat, along with Earn, Trank Boots, and you know whatever else he wants. Oh, looks like we are gonna get a Wisp CK coming top. No, what? He brought Lich with him. That's interesting.
I think he might have misclicked.
Yeah, he
Oh,
does get the
it's
Chain
his
Frost
ulti.
off, but it's not going to kill anybody. Looks like Wisp is going to take out Lich, yep, and Quap will be able to blink away. There's no lasso up, so I think eventually the Quap will be able to get out of here. Oh, looks like Sven does die to the tick damage from Dagger.
Mm-hmm.
That's good for them, even though they do lose the Quap. I feel like the Quap had enough of a good start. Well, although she does lose that to a killing spree, but I feel like the Quap had enough of a good start that as long as they keep suppressing the Sven, the only hero they're ever going to have to worry about is TA, and TA really hasn't got that stellar start that you would expect, and
I'm also
therefore,
surprised that she hasn't upgraded her boots yet.
yeah, she's going straight blink. I'm not quite sure why she's doing this, because phase boots, just the damage you get out of phase alone is worth it over blink, and just the mobility you get obviously is really good. Looks like they are going to go in for the CK, but he's sticking around. I feel like he should have smelled this gank coming, and
Oh,
he's
good
going to pay
trap.
for it. Although Sven
Oh,
is really out of position. He should have been farther up. And he still
see,
has no
this is why.
Warcry.
Yeah, this is why I like one in Warcry,
Hmm.
because it would have just helped Jakiro land his stun right there. He's gonna miss that.
Yeah, this CK is getting out of here because Quap's going to turn around. 4 seconds down on Sven. They might be able to turn this into a fight. Yeah, and Wisp is coming in, stunning the THD, and Reality Rift will pull the Sven back in. Tide does have Ravage. No, he doesn't. He's only level 5. Wow, this is a really underleveled Tide. Looks like the Sven will be going down, but at the cost of CK. Looks like the TA is still here, but nobody has detection, so she's going to be able to meld out of here if she keeps going. They do burn off Refraction, so nope, Lich
Oh,
will go
nice pick
down.
off on Lich.
Hmm. Not sure what that ice path was, but it looks like Bat is going to keep sticking up the Quap, and she will get away though. They're not going to be able to go on this, especially with TA just so low. Even though she has Refraction up, one dagger and a clap is just going to instantly kill her. So yeah, good trade by the Radiant. They were able to trade a Sven for a Lich and a CK.
I think it was 1 for 3, to be honest. I think they got one more out of it. Lich Wisp and CK, I think. I think that was
Yeah,
it.
I think Wisp went down, you're right. He's so low level that he respawned instantly. But I'm shocked.
Oh,
Oh,
bottom
Wish
lane.
CK again, I can't talk. They will be able to get
Sorry.
this Tide off for free. Looks like THD is going to turn around. Very smart by him. He cannot fight this at all. But I was just going to say, I'm shocked that this Tide had been pulling all game, and the THD is a higher level than him.
I think it's because he didn't get any of the last hits from the jungle. He's only sitting at 3 last hits.
Yeah, but the last hits don't matter. He would still get all that XP, and I'm just shocked that he contributed absolutely nothing to the tri lane because he was trying to get all these pulls off, and yet somehow he's still under leveled, even though he left the lane completely. And even after they had left the tri lane and started ganking, he would have had some experience from the lane. I'm not sure what he was doing from the time period that the tri lane ended to that last fight that he hasn't gotten level 6. I mean, obviously he has it now, but a Tide who doesn't have level 6 by, even in a tri lane, 10 minutes baseline, if you don't have level 6 by then, you've just failed. because you need that Ravage for early team fights. It's so crucial. Just the damage, like they don't even focus on the stun. 200 damage the entire team. You get 1,000 damage before magic resistance. Just turns the fight around instantly. And with a Panda and a Lich, that's just some massive AoE damage going out. That you need to be able to counter that with some of your own. And THD, Sven, Bat are all good, but you just need that consistent damage that Tide brings to the table.
And we see top lane that TA has picked up the Blink Dagger. She also has a DD bottled up, so maybe she'll be looking for picking off somebody top lane.
I really hope she goes BKB after phase. From her item choices right now, I'm not going to be surprised if she tries to skip a step and go straight for Deso. But if she does that, she's just going to be demolished. There's so much of the Dire team is dependent on their magical damage, whether it be the Panda Burn or the Lich ult or the Quap ult or Wisp Spirits. You just, if you can eliminate only the CK as physical damage, you're just going to have such an easier time, obviously.
Hmm
And if the Tide builds a pipe, which I don't think he's going to be able to afford a Blink Dagger, and it's just, at this point, I'm not sure they need the initiation with the TA traps. Oh, sorry, there's Wisp CK top, but it looks like they're not going to be able to catch this TA. She does back out to the lane before they are able to catch her.
They do have detection now with the dust on Panda, so they can catch her if they find her.
Yeah, I didn't notice who bought this dust, but if it was the Panda, good on him, because it's really annoying to see these 1 and 2 level carries who refuse to buy support items for the team. Not saying you should ever buy support items, Chin, but it would be nice. Oh, it looks like this TA is diving a little bit too far for the Lich. I'm not sure that was worth it. Oh, Ravage
Oh,
is going to
Tide
cover her,
Ravage.
though. And without a Panda ult is up, but he's not going to use it on the... Yeah, he's not going to use
There
it
was
on the
very little
Tide.
follow-up after that ulti.
Yeah, I mean, that Ravage was just to make sure the TA didn't die. The TA was way overextended there. Even with the haste and DD, you can't dive under a tier 2 with a Quap who's going to just instantly melt your refraction charges. That you're going to have no protection. That's really... It's a shame that she got Tied and a Ravage killed for that. And it's going to lead into a tier 1 tower push mid.
And we see Batrider, he's going for a Blink Dagger, so he's doing a good decision and going for that Blink
Oh,
Dagger
it
he
looks like
wants.
THD is going to go
BKB,
down
sorry.
to a 4-second stun.
Uh,
And yeah, they are going to get... Oh, nice. He used his... CK ult was able to dodge the Sven stun, and the good chain frost. Wow, the TA and Bat are really chaining the chain frost. Excuse me. It's really not effective, obviously. They should just spread out instantly, and that's going to get the TA killed due to the slow and the fact that they were able to catch up with dust, which is obviously good that they had that. I'm pretty sure Panda didn't use that, so it's good that somebody else had dust too.
yeah, Wisp pass it.
Yeah.
And we see in that fight there was no sign of Batrider because he was farming bottom, and they got initiated on. So next time I might go differently to fight.
Yeah, and without Ravage, obviously, as well, it's pretty bad. Their team is really dependent in these early levels on that Ravage. Obviously, once teams start getting BKBs, Tide obviously takes such a sharp dip in effectiveness, but even if you ignore that, just like I was saying earlier, Ravage is early is really so effective that you don't need to think about late game. You just need to think about the effectiveness he brings to the table early, which he wasn't able to do because he was just so low level the entire game. Now, one way to tell if you're winning a game is to look at the ward coverage. And as we see from the Radiant, no wards at all. And there's none, there's some wards on Tide, but it's been at least 3 minutes that they haven't had any ward coverage. And while Dire has really good wards on the rune spots, it shuts off any ganking. Although there is going to be a smoke gank out of Dire, or excuse me, the Radiant. It looks like they're a little confused on where they're going to go, but it looks like they're going to try and pick off Quap mid. Bat needs to blink in now. Yep, before he was able to blink out. It looks like Tide gushed a creep. Not
Yeah, I
good,
saw
but
that.
they're still going to get the kill. Once you get the Bat stun, you have 2 stuns on top of that, and just TA's meld is going to melt any hero that gets caught. So good for them. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to push the tier 2 out of this, especially since Panda does have his ult, I believe. Can't click him, but yeah, there he is. He does have his ult. And that's the downside for Smoke Gank. Oh no, it looks like they are going to go on Lich, but TA is overextending again. Interesting to see the
Oh,
Pandas went for a
the
Blink
Sven's going
Dagger.
in.
Yeah, it looks like Sven is gonna pop his ult, but they're just gonna back up, and he wasted his ult for nothing. I don't like how passive the Dire team is being right now. They have Panda ult and they have all of CK's power, especially when he has his ult. And they're gonna get a
4 second
4 second up
stun.
on bat. Yeah, he's gonna just melt. Oh no, looks like
Oh,
Ravage on
nice.
top. Ravage just come out. He's able to pop the Wisp instantly. CK is gonna go down the fire, and wow, they should have waited for the Panda ult on that. I'm really shocked that the Panda waited so long to ultimate. And he's gonna go down. Actually, the Panda's gonna get burned through. There's only the Earth Panda left, and if they just focus him, he's gonna. No,
I don't think they
he's
can
turning
kill him.
around though. I'm not. I think they could have focused him, but looks like the Quap. Oh, nice time for lasso mid blink animation, and yeah, Quap's gonna go down. That was a horrible team fight. Maybe
It
they didn't
was.
expect Ravage to be up, but I thought when CK used his ultimate, the Panda was gonna ult right behind him. But for some reason he didn't. And it was also a beautiful ice path by the THD. Caught I think at least 3 heroes in the ice path. And just instantly stopped that CK from killing the bat.
Yep. And also, we see that the Quap died again after. So, like, she's still stuck on the Agnum Scepter that she made that we didn't talk about.
Oh yeah, she just picked it up. My bad.
And
No,
she
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 had it
got
for a
it, and then
while.
she hasn't used her ulti. So,
Yeah.
it's a pretty wasteful item, to be honest.
Well, a couple things that I haven't been following the items as closely as I should have, but we do see the Panda went for Blink after getting his point booster, which I don't really like. I mean, obviously the point booster is great as a starting item because it gives you that tank ability that obviously you just want more and more and more of, since you're so crucial to just be staying in the fight and throwing out the debuffs that you do have. And it looks like we are going to get a smoke gank out of the Dire. Yeah, it's coming down the the courier right now. Which I do have to say, I'm disappointed that I think both teams just have a regular donkey. Yeah.
Yeah, they needed the Honey Badger.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
Panda ult is still down, so
I'm not
Panda
quite
should be
sure what.
really careful.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna accomplish out of here. They know Ravage is down. Oh, looks like Panda is gonna get. He's gonna get the clap off, and the Tide was gonna get Kraken Shell, but still gonna die. Looks like THD does get a nice ice path, catching 2. I don't think they're gonna go in. Oh, Quap's overextending. Yeah,
Oh,
lasso, bat, beautiful counter initiation. The bat just, or excuse me, the Quap overextended so much that the bat just got a free kill out of it. Although TA did take it from her. It looks like CK is staying around the farm. I don't think he quite realizes that the Radiant team is following him. But looks like Trap's gonna go off. Are they gonna go in on this? Looks like they are. They might be able to catch out the Panda, although his blink is up, and he's gonna, yeah, they're gonna get away. I don't think they can catch up because Wisp Tether is just gonna help whoever's lagging behind. Although unless it's the Wisp, they're gonna get him. No, he's gonna tether away.
oh,
And
Panda.
nah, Panda should be fine. He gave him the juice. Yeah, and he's the TA. That's why Panda's such a good counter for TA, just because even in out of Panda form, even though Panda form can take off Meld, the Fire Panda takes off refraction charges. Using Drunken Haze and his Clap, they both give attack slows and attack misses. So, and especially movement slow, since TA is such a movement based hero, that if you just slow her down a little bit, especially now with the trap nerf that it's not 50% movement slow off the bat, it's 35 I believe to start, it's just so vital that you slow her as much as possible. And unfortunately the Radiant team just dropped one of their rare wards under a sentry, and they should be able to pick this off. I don't think they can get TA, but it looks like they're going in on it. Clap goes off, Fraction is up, but they're gonna
Oh,
pop the
Panda
Panda
pops
ult
the
for
ult.
this. Yeah, they are going to get this TA kill for free. I'm not sure if it was worth the Panda ult, because I wonder if Panda still had his dust up. I didn't quite notice.
Wisp was coming in with a sentry ward anyways.
Yeah, I don't think it was worth it. Yeah, Panda still had dust. That was a mistake on his part. I think he just wanted to get the kill. And I know I always forget dust, and I play support, and obviously this Panda's not supporting, so I can't imagine how hard it would be for him. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to note earlier is this Wisp, elected to go for Wisps and Tether over Overcharge, which is not a really good idea, because Overcharge is just such. Well, he's leaving it on too, but Overcharge is such a crucial skill with a CK, just because his crit can be so ridiculous when he gets 300% crit damage. That if you get Overcharge on him at max, it's 80%, or sorry, 70% attack speed increase, and on any hero, it's 80 or 70%. Oh, I keep saying 80, 70% attack speed. It's not something to laugh at. Versus only gaining a little bit more on the tether stun, but the tether stun, it's not used. You don't rely on that as a main stun. You rely on it as an after effect stun. So I'm not quite sure if it's as useful to level up, since it's not as reliable as overcharges, because it gives you guaranteed 70% attack speed. And one of the things that people often overlook, because it has a health drain, they don't remember that it also reduces damage by 20% max level, and that's on top of armor and magic resist. So when you have a Tide Ravage, Bat, Firefly, THD Macro Fire, there's no reason to not want to have 80% damage resistance for both you and the tether target, I should say. So the CK, he's really tanky off the bat, but you just give him another tank ability item, and he's unkillable.
Speaking of unkillable, Sven just picks up his BKB,
Oh,
so
good
it's
for
gonna
him.
be really, it's gonna work out really well for
30
him.
minute BKB as a first item. I'm really scared about this. It just goes off to how bad a start he had. Although he has caught up a little, 77 last hits it's not horrible. Obviously, at this point for the number one, I mean nobody in on these teams has really good farm, but at this point in the game, you want to have at least what 250 last hits. I think is no, you want to have
If
a
you're
lot
doing
more than
really
that.
well, you need to have 250.
Yeah, at 30 minutes around,
hmm
because you want to have at least 80 per 10 minutes. So 80 CS per 10 minutes, I should say.
If you're AM, you're gonna have like 320 or something.
Well, yeah, but I mean, come on. That's like pathetic
No
to
fun allowed, man. No fun
but
allowed.
to Burning standard, that's pretty pathetic. He would never allow that. So I'm gonna go back to the items. I have missed a couple of items so far. It looks like
There are mechs up on
yeah.
Jakiro and Lich, so
hmm
both teams have them up.
Interesting to see the Lich picking up the mech. Generally, I would think that the Lich would go pretty bare bones, just for the full 5 and let the Wisp get up the support items. Just because, obviously, Mana Boots, any spell that Wisp casts on himself while tethered, just gives a double bonus to whoever he's tethered to. So Mech and Mana Boots, just when you double that effectiveness, it's a lot more useful than if it's on a Lich, who can obviously only affect the team once. And obviously, Mech is a fantastic item on its own. Why would you turn away the doubling the effect possibly? It's just I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, Wisp is, I think if you have him as a 4, he works a lot better because like, Wisp is more involved in the fight because he directly affects how your carry is doing. While Lich, he basically throws out one or two spells like Frost Nova.
hmm
His ult's really important, but that's just one spell. While Wisp is constantly with the
Yeah,
carry.
and especially if you teleport in, it's a Wisp needs to survive the full 12 seconds, and the mech armor alone is just what he needs because he has only 2 armor right now and starts with 0 base armor. So
hmm the Radiant's trying to push bottom while their Dire is porting in to defend.
mhm.
Panda might initiate. Oh no, Radiant's backing up now.
Yeah, I don't think they can. It's not worth it to take this fight unless they actually go in. The Panda already wasted his ult on a TA solo before. Although it is interesting. Oh no, the bat's gonna back off. I was gonna say he was in a position to grab somebody, but it looks like we're gonna have 4 TPs top. They really do not want to lose this tier 1 tower. Looks like Wisp
What?
CK is continuing to just farm the jungle, which, you know, I like. It gives both heroes the levels, and the CK, he's a little behind on his farm. Obviously, he's got 6-3 and 6 for kills, but for
He did
30
pick up his
minutes,
BKB though, so it's gonna help
yeah,
him a lot.
he could do better, is all I'm saying. But obviously,
Yeah,
anybody can do better. Looks like Bat did get his BKB as well.
a lot of
Nice.
BKBs this game. It's to be
Yeah,
expected though.
it's there. I mean, both teams have a really high amount of magic damage. I'm shocked. Like, obviously, Radiant has Sven and TA, which gives them the advantage in right clicks, but they're really relying on their magic damage. And it's not like some things that, oh, looks like we're going to have an engagement here. Looks like CK
Oh,
is
yeah, out
going
of
to get
position.
grabbed. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to focus him down, but he still has Aegis, and he will pop back up from it. Ravage catches 2, will be able to pop off the Wisp instantly. Panda is not ulting yet, there he goes. Chain Frost is going to catch 2, but it's going to bounce off creeps, and TA is getting melted down. Wow, this TA is, even with BKB up, is getting melted down. CK is going to go down. Looks like Sven, oh, Sven just cleaves through that Fire Panda. And it looks like TA is tossed in the air, but Sven is on the warpath. He's really low health. I'm shocked. Yeah, there's the Quap. She could just man up, but she's going to man down and die instantly. And yeah, there goes Lich too. TA is going to be able to pull us off. Bat does get his double kill. Is TA going to kill this Lich? I'm going to be really disappointed if you don't kill the Lich. But he did overextend. The Quap's going to be able to pick him up.
Oh,
Does get
that
the
melt hit.
Lich. Yeah, and the Panda's here as well. So if they just stay around for some AoE, yeah. TA no, she's gonna get refraction up. Oh my god, she's gonna live. Is she gonna do it? It's the Great Escape. Oh my
Oh,
god, what was that? 10 HP?
yeah, that
Wow. And
was.
she's just gonna
Oh,
pour
he's
it out.
TPing out.
Oh, Wisp sees it though. He's gonna get the spirits. No, he doesn't. TA makes the
Oh,
Great Escape. Looks like THD is getting caught out of position. Wisp
oh,
is gonna be
bad
able to
should just
tether.
leave him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good that Bat just decided not to be a friend and leave him behind.
You must be used to that, bro.
Yeah, I know. We do see a creep
Thanks,
pull
support
off on
roll.
the hard camp, but yeah. I mean, the thing about being, you expect to die as a support, and there's no worse feeling in the world than to die as a support and take one of your more important heroes with you. And this Bat, obviously, he doesn't need a lot to be effective, but you don't want to feed a free kill any more than you have. THD has nothing right now. He has a mech and a Basilius. Even with 10 armor, he's gonna get melted. Just because he's a support hero. So you don't want to lose the Bat along with a guaranteed kill that's the THD. Looks like Dire is going to be able to take a tier 1 out of this. They have a massive creep wave behind them, and I don't think Radiant has Fortify up. No, it looks like they do,
Oh,
and they are
look.
going to try and defend it.
Again, they really want to keep this tier 1 tower.
Looks like Bat
Oh,
blinks
that
into a
right.
tether, and he's going to go down. He does get the BKB up, but oh my god, 40 HP. He's going to be able to fly up on the cliff. Looks like Panda is really low. Sven pops his ult. They're going to pick off this Panda, especially in the ult. Whisk goes down as well. Wow, I'm surprised how badly this fight went for them.
He
Obviously, they
still has
didn't.
lasso. He still has lasso. He might go in for it.
Does he have his blink up? Yep, he's going to get the CK. Even if the CK had his BKB up, it would be a waste since Lasso goes through BKB. And smart play by the Tide here. He doesn't fall for the bait of everybody go on the CK. He decides to stick to the Lich, gets a gush off, and is able to slow him down enough for the TA to catch up. And
NC
yeah,
State
that's
gets 4 for nothing.
yeah, 4 for nothing trade. Quap's trying to trade mid, but I'm not sure if she can even get that. And even if she does, they're gonna get a tier 2 top. But yeah, I'm shocked at just when the Dire team saw those TPs, even though they had this massive creep wave, maybe it was hubris, but they should have just backed out. They knew they didn't have Panda ult. They knew they didn't have CK. No, his ult was up, but they knew he wasn't at full strength. Quap wasn't with them. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking there.
I also don't like how Quap, ever since she got her Ag Scepter, she has had no item progression at all.
She is going for BKB though. She does pick up the Ogre Axe. Or Ogre Club, excuse me. They are gonna get the high ground tower. Yeah, this Quap can't defend on her own, and even if they just sacrifice themselves for the tower, they should be able to get it, which is what Sven does. Nice Ravage though, does catch 3. Looks like the Panda does get his ult up. Yep, Tide goes down. Quap blinks forward to try and catch the TA, but TA gets the refraction up. In the background, Sven did go down. It looks like they will be able to get, yep, Reality Rift will pull down the THD, and yeah,
Oh,
Dust
that
will throw
dust.
off the TA. So another overextension. I think that this one by by the Radiant was a little less forgivable because they went for a high ground when they knew every hero was coming up, and they didn't have any vision of the base.
They were also
So
very clumped up, so I think
yeah,
Panda's Stomp hit 4 people,
yeah, and
along with the Quap ulti,
even though
which was
Ravage
excellent.
hit, yeah, even though Ravage hit 3 or 4, it was just you can't do a lot, especially with Panda ult up. You just can't do a lot if you're trying to breach high ground and you don't have these massively strong heroes. Since everybody is under farm this game, and I will just say that as a broad statement, it's just disappointing to see that they don't recognize how under farm they are right now.
Yeah, this Tide Hunter,
Ooh,
he just
THD.
has Arcane Boots.
THD needs to be careful. He TP'd in the wrong location.
If
He
Panda
looks like he's
saw him,
gonna
I
get.
think he was dead.
Yeah. It looks like Panda is able to finish up his Ags at almost 40 minutes. See any more item progression. Looks like Bat is going for his Sheep Stick. Sven picks up a Crystallis. Okay, good. TA did get her BKB. Oh no, she's had her BKB for a while, but it's good that she didn't go Deso. mentioning that
She's
now.
getting close to Deso though, only around 1,000 something gold.
Wisp picks up a Vit booster. I do like that because you need as much health as possible. You don't need regen so much since overcharge is obviously just disables your regen, or it doesn't. Yeah, it does disable your regen. Excuse me. Or Earn doesn't count as a regen item, and so you just need the base health in order to keep your overcharge flowing. Although it is percentage based, it still helps obviously. Anyway, finishing up the items, CK goes for his Fit booster as well, so it looks like he's gonna be going for a heart. And Quap should be near her BKB soon, I believe. Yeah,
Yep,
she
she's
picks
only
up the
400
Mithril
off.
Hammer. Yeah, and if they get this Rosh kill, they should be able to get it for her.
Yeah, again, we see the lack of vision from the Radiant.
Yeah. Uh, and the
That
Tide,
ward,
I believe
very
the Tide has
questionable.
wards.
Up here, at the top row.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. Even in laning stage, I feel like that's a pretty bad ward because it only gives you limited vision of the rune, and you can get a much better ward up on the cliff. Looks
Oh,
like
Quap
Bat.
gets picked up.
Sorry, the Bat picks off the Quap. Yeah, I was about to say Ravage hits almost every hero, but the Tide does go down instantly. Sven gets a really late ult off, but he is going to be able to pick off the CK. Should be able to cleave off. If he gets a hit on Panda, he will get the cleave now. Oh, Panda does get his ult off, and the Sven is going to go down instantly. CK's back up. Could go back in. Yeah, I think he should go after the TA. Yep, he's going to go after the TA. She's going to have nothing here. Panda's going to be able to pull her off, but they are going to focus the Bat for some reason. THD is in the air. Looks like Quap, Lish, and Wisp are down in the meantime. And actually, no, CK's going to go down here. I think he should have finished off that TA when he had the chance. I'm not quite sure. Oh no, TA's going to even live? Yeah, with refraction
Yeah,
up, she's
she's
going to live
definitely
through
gonna
this.
live.
It looks like Panda should be going down. I think that was a really questionable decision to turn on the Bat, especially since if you look, the Bat's got more strength, or more health than the TA, and the Bat is lower level. So it just shows like what a little difference that strength gain made. Obviously he's made a lot of strength items, but that Bat is so tanky right now. And I'm not quite sure what he contributed. He already threw out his lasso. Firefly was already going off. I mean, maybe he thought he had a free kill, but you can't underestimate the power of a TA, especially when you leave her alone. And she does
Hmm.
pick up a Crystallis, so
I think the main problem in that fight was Sven just came in and cleaved all the supports, and they
yeah.
died in like 2 to 3 auto attacks,
Mhm.
which shouldn't happen. You shouldn't clump up like that against the Sven. They all got hit by an ice path and then just got demolished by Sven.
Yeah, a couple of things about that. Well, actually, THC just got killed right there, but they do pick up a tier 3 top and do 50% chip damage to the top racks. But I'm questioning why the Quap was on the high ground there. I mean, generally you throw a support up there because you know that they're bait, and the Quap obviously can't handle being a bait, especially against a Bat who just has free reign of the map with the Blink Dagger, really. And so her getting picked off at the start of the fight really was not good. And the Tide got like, it was a 4 or 5 man Ravage. So say what you will about, well, what I said, say what I will about what a bad start he had. He's really gotten some clutch Ravages out, which is even more surprising because they had limited vision of that pit, and he's still able to get a pretty good Ravage off, even though they had a TA trap, but they didn't quite know where the entire Dire team was. It looks like Quap is going to be able to cheekily steal regen rune out from Tide's nose. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Tide
good.
almost has his blink dagger.
Yeah, I think that's a really bad decision on his part to get a 40-minute blink dagger when he could have been building for a pipe. Obviously, he's been buying wards all game, and he has almost no farm at 36 CS. But I'm not sure what a blink does for you right now. I mean, the other thing is, you get blink when you have to initiate on the other team, but when you have a reality rift, a Quap, and a blinking panda, they're all coming to you anyway. And if CK stuns you, he just blew his Ravage.
He did?
Yeah.
I moved away from Tide for a second and he blew his
Yeah, I
Ravage.
heard it. He just uses Ravage by accident. Must have misclicked. Oh,
Well, they can't initiate for the next 2 minutes.
that's really bad because they need to take advantage of the situation they have. CK doesn't have an Aegis. They have top racks exposed, and they have a lot of heroes that don't have good item progression. They could really push the advantage if they had that Ravage. That's a shame. Yeah. Well, in the
I think though, like if this goes later on in the game, Sven can outcarry CK easily.
yeah, I mean CK he can carry for a long time, but when he gets ultra late game, he's gonna melt in the. especially with all the AoE damage that just increases. Because Sven's AoE will constantly increase, but CK's single target damage will always just be focused, obviously, on that one target. And so no matter how fast he pops off, say, the THD, the cleave damage is gonna wreck his entire team behind him anyway.
It also depends on whether or not CK can catch him out when his BKB is not up, because he can reality rift and all his illusions can attack him at once.
Yeah, an interesting point in that. This Sven is already on a 6-second BKB, so he's got a clock ticking on him. And it looks like CK Wisp is going to come down. They should be able to catch him out if he gets the stun off before BKB pops. Only 2 seconds though. Oh, Spirits are going to be able to get him. Bat did come in the Firefly and Lasso, but he has to waste the BKB for this, and it's almost out. Yeah, CK is going to be able to Reality Rift and 4-second stun. Jeez, that Bat. That's a shame. He is forced to buy back. I don't even think it's worth it for a Bat to buy back at this point.
I think
Because,
Sven will have to buy back too.
yeah, because if they want to go in without Lasso up, they can just walk on in, especially since Tide doesn't have Ravage for another 40 seconds. But I think that Bat thought it was only a Wisp CK, and even if it was a Wisp CK, that's still pretty scary to go in on. When the Sven was already dead, you're not going to have any backup. But we did see the Quap and the Lich Panda were coming up behind. Looks like they are going to port mid to try and pick off the TA, but the TA is
Also,
long gone. What were you saying? Well, I think he dropped.
I'm back.
Okay. What were you saying?
I was saying that she picked up a Daedalus.
Oh yeah, TA gets her Daedalus. So, I, I just, outside of that gank, I think things are looking pretty good for the Radiant team if they can get their 5-man fight. And they shouldn't be looking to fight obviously without Ravage down. Even though it's everybody has, or there's a lot of BKBs, and obviously Panda ignores Ravage completely. It's one of those things that when you have a Ravage, you don't want to go without it. So, especially when this late in the game, when every team fight counts. Let's see, the courier at the secret shop looks like it's gonna pick up a
Reaver.
You mean oh wow, never mind. They're both at the secret shop. So yeah, Reaver for the CK it looks like, and a Demon's Edge for the Sven. So I think the Sven's gonna go Daedalus as well.
Yeah, but he's not saving up for buyback, so he's going all in.
Yeah, it's interesting since the Bat already used his buyback, so it's even more crucial that the rest of his team does buyback. And the Bat isn't even close. Obviously, with that buyback, he's not even close to the Sheep, and he's had that ultimate orb for a very long time.
And he's been using hasn't been using that urn at all, because it still has 8 charges. So I think he should be more proactive with that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's even like people obviously think about it for securing the kills, but that's a 450 heal, or 400, excuse me, heal. And even this late in the game, if you get turn charges up on, like, say, a Sven, you get half his health back up instantly. So it's pretty useful. Looks like there is another CK Wisp teleport, but there again, the problem is A, the TA is a blink dagger, but B, they're porting on top of the TA when what they need to be doing is blinking behind her, so that they cut off her escape route while the rest of the team comes up from her front, so she can't blink the other way and try to be cheeky in her escape route.
Oh, there's the smoke on Tide. They might go for it.
Yeah, Panda's going Shiva's next, it looks like, or AC, actually. I think AC would probably be better because the CK needs it, and the rest of the team needs the armor.
Yeah, especially against Sven.
Mm-hmm.
Though his cleave doesn't, he ignores armor, but the first target it hits.
Yeah, and since it's 70% damage, it's pretty much an auto attack or an auto attack every hit.
Yeah, coupled with the God Strength, which is just ridiculous damage.
Yeah. Looks like Quap
The best part is that the
Scout.
crit goes through.
Oh, looks like Quap Illusions are able to take out that ward, which I feel horrible for this Tide, because I think the Tide's the only one who's been warding this game, and he's barely had any wards up at all. It's really a shame that he went that Blink Dagger. I just don't think it's as effective as it could be. Let me pull up. Looks like the experience graph is pretty even after the Radiant have they lost that last fight bought with the Bat forced to buy back. They lost a lot of experience on that, and gold earned is pretty much even. So it's pretty even for both teams, but I still think Radiant's 5-man push is going to be a lot stronger. And it looks like they're Huh. They just
Smoke on the
smoked under.
carrier.
Yeah, but they smoked under a creep wave. And it looks
Oh,
like, yeah,
the
Dire
Dire
team's
also
gonna
smoked.
smoke. But I'm not quite sure I understand this. They smoked up under a creep wave, so I'm not sure why the Dire didn't notice that. Looks like both teams aren't going to get anything out of the smoke gank. But it's important to note, this is with a minute left to Rosh, so this is the perfect time to smoke gank. Because obviously you could smoke gank and get a kill, but you need to have something behind it. You need to have a tower to push, or you need to have Rosh up in order to benefit from the investment you take from the XP and gold you're going to lose by not farming. And just running around the map while the other team is potentially doing something else.
When they
They
start
are
getting
going to be
engaged up
able to
top.
wrap up. Yeah, they're going to be able to wrap around. There's no vision except for a TA trap. Looks like Tide might have seen him. I don't see any pings going. Yeah, they see him now. Oh no! Wow, what is this panda doing?
What happened,
This
Panda?
panda
Oh,
was left behind mid lane when they were trying to gank, and it looks like TA is going to jump in and try and take out the wisp, but he is reality rifted. Is able to get a 3 second stun off, but the bat is able to pull a quap through BKB. Nice ravage, hits everybody. Holy crap! They're going to be able to pop down the THD. CK goes down. Wisp is forced to buy back while Lich dies as well. And the pandas died. Wow, that 5-man ravage just really came through in the clutch.
it was a huge fight by the Radiant.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to easily take a Rax out of this. It's good that Sven has the mindset to stay behind to get the Rax, while other two are forcing the Dire Heroes off of the Rax anywhere near it, I should say. And they might be able to take two. Yeah, TA is going to chip down this mid tower pretty easily, especially since CK. I don't think CK has buyback. No, he doesn't. And he's down for another 40 seconds. And since Panda already has his ult down, it's useless if he buys back. This is something we haven't seen out of Quap a lot. With that Ag Scepter, you could just, oh no, Lasso's up and she's going to go down, I think. Might be able to blink? No, it's going to go down
No,
with a 600 crit off of Sven. And it looks like Wisp might be dead too, yeah, with a Gush coming off cooldown. Yeah, that's a dead Wisp.
oh,
And,
Lich almost died to the spell.
yeah, but I mean, in the meantime, mid-Rax goes down. They can't push bot Rax quite yet, but I mean, it doesn't matter. That's a huge loss. That 5-man Ravage, and the fact that Panda wasn't able to get an effective ult off. And since BKBs, one of the things, or the risks about getting that early BKB and using it too liberally, is that you really have a shortened duration. Like, the CK's BKB is only at 7 seconds right now. Oh, they are going to be able to catch out the TA even with the BKB up. No, looks
Oh, I
like she
think
is
she's
going to be
going to be
faster.
able to blink away.
Yeah, looks like she did have enough time. Bat is lurking around, but I think he's just going to back up too.
They were looking to
And
go to Roche.
yeah, Rosh is up, and they do see it with the TA trap. Kind of risky to do, but I think they have enough of a lead that even if they lose this Rosh fight marginally, they can still defend their barracks.
And with the TA meld hit, it's going to be really easy.
They do know they're here because that Panda, yeah, he's gonna blink in, and he does have
Oh,
his
he
ult,
wasn't able to
but
ulti.
he got lassoed instantly. Looks like Sven is taking a lot of damage though. Oh, CK's knocked onto the high ground. Pretty good flame break out of the Bat Rider, and they are spreading out for this Lich ult. Not as effective as it could be. Looks like THD is going to go down, and Sven is going to be able to get the Rosh kill, but the Aegis and Cheese are still on the deck.
Aegis is
Nobody's
still
picking it
there.
up. Oh my god, Sven is trying to drop his
Drop the
TP. Drop the
TP.
TP! Oh, he gets the... Okay, he does get the Aegis. CK, oh
Oh, that crit.
no! Who got... I
That's
think...
Sven crit.
Who got the cheese? I think TA got the cheese. Yeah, TA got the
Yeah, TA
cheese.
got the cheese.
Looks like they will be able to track down this Lich pretty easily. Yeah, and
And the
GG's
GG is
called.
called.
But I just want to point out that Ravage and Flame Break kind of knocked the quap around. That is not how you treat your women, gentlemen. Looks like that will go down, and but what a shame that was. The CK was stuck on the cliff because of Flame Break and couldn't do anything that fight. And when he finally did Reality Rift, he pulled himself onto the low ground while the back got pulled onto the high ground and was obviously rendered safe from harm.
That was a very interesting Roche fight, to say the least.
Yeah, so looks like that game is over. I have an update. I'm gonna stop the VOD here, and thanks for watching.